And welcome back to another TU podcast. I am John Tranchina of the Tulsa World, the University of Tulsa beat writer. And joining me today is Owen Ostroski, defensive lineman for the TU Golden Hurricanes. So thanks very much for joining us, Owen.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on, John.
All right, cool. Well, first, you guys are in a bye week right now. Just tell me a little bit about how that's going and kind of what the general feel is.
The bye week's been going good. It's nice to, halfway through the season to have a week where, you can have your practices can be a little lighter and, just not take as much of a beating during the week as you normally would during the weeks and stuff. And so, especially at this point where we have some dudes banged up and stuff, it's nice to be able to have a week to just kind of be a little more less physical with your bodies and give you a chance to heal up and stuff.
How are you feeling personally? Are you dealing with any issues?
No, I'm feeling great.
All right, cool. You guys have coming off a tough loss at Navy. Just tell me how, especially on the sense on defense, how you guys are dealing with the outcome of that game.
Obviously, that outcome wasn't what we wanted and what we were going out there preparing to do. But, once that game's over, you kind of get that 24-hour rule where you can be mad about it, feel however you want about the game. But then after that next 24 hours, you just got to focus on going 1-0 the next week. So, you wake up the next day and then you get ready to play Temple.
So is it kind of just like a feeling of refreshing yourselves for this week and kind of taking it a little easy, like you said, physically, and that's basically
yeah, the practices aren't going to be as strenuous, but you're still getting ready to play a game. You just get a little more extra time, so you don't have to try to crush as much as much game plan and stuff as into the weeks, because you have 2 weeks to prepare instead of one.
How confident are you that the defense will bounce back after that rough outing against Navy, and what do you guys need to do to be a little bit better?
I'm pretty confident that going into any game, I'm confident that the defense is going to play the way we expect. We have a standard, and you always go into each game expecting to play to that standard. Obviously the Navy game wasn't up to our standard and how we play. You just got, and you just focus on Temple and and trying to game plan them, learn their offense and what they do, and then just focus on that. So obviously I expect whatever game we're going to go in expecting to play to our standard.
What's the key to you, your unit, the defensive line, especially getting more pressure on the quarterback and delivering some more sacks?
You just got to do your job, play physical, and be disciplined.
And so how are you, tell me about your progress this season. How are you feeling about how you're doing, and are you seeing progress?
Absolutely, I'm seeing progress. As time goes on, as you practice, more practices go through camp, and then you get into the season, start getting snaps and games. You're obviously gonna see improvements. So obviously, I've seen a growth from fall camp to now. Obviously, there's still a long way for me to go, and a lot more for me to learn. But through this halfway point in the season, I feel like I've improved quite a bit from the Wyoming game to now.
It's a little difficult to watch from the stands, or the press box rather, is to specifically see how many plays you're in. How often are you getting in there?
It just kind of depends on the game and how the flow of the game is going. Last week I played 25 snaps, and so it's usually between 20 and 30 snaps a game.
Okay. And so what aspect of your game are you working on the most? Is it anything?
There's so many different aspects of being a defensive lineman. There's so many different, just techniques and situations for you to be in. So there's not exactly just one piece that I need to work on, because, there's so much that, I need to learn. And a lot of that's just, trying to get myself into every situation as possible, so that so that I don't get put in situations I've never been in before on the field and stuff. So just trying to work on all sorts of stuff.
As a local kid from Tulsa playing in Tulsa, what's that like? Just being able to, staying home and playing on that field.
I mean, it's a really cool and awesome experience that not a whole lot of people get to do. I mean, it's awesome because I mean I've been going to TU games since the minute I was born. Basically, I mean I've as long as I can remember, I've been going to TU games and watching and dreaming of being on the field. And so getting to live out that dream. And then it's also, I mean, all my family and friends are here. So, my whole family gets to come to the games. And then I have so many different family friends and my friends that come to the games. I mean, there's always at least 10 plus people that aren't blood family members that are in the stands there to watch me and stuff. So it's a really cool to have that, to have all the support and all of my family and friends to be able to come support me.
Was that one of the key reasons you wanted to stay, was to experience that?
Obviously that was a big plus, to have all that support.
I know since, you were written about quite a bit by the Tulsa World even before you got into TU. So tell me a little bit about, maybe a highlight or two of your high school career. Obviously, I guess winning the state championship must be on that list, but tell me about what stands out to you about your high school career at Holland Hall.
Yeah, obviously winning a state championship was a really cool experience. That's always obviously up there. My freshman year, I got to play with my brother on the same team with my brother and my dad coaching us on the same team. So getting to spend that 1 year with my dad and my brother all on the same team together, that whole year, basically, that was, a big highlight of mine.
Okay. And I also remember you being selected. I was at the all-world banquet when you were selected as the overall male athlete of the year in 2021. Tell me about that experience.
Obviously that was really cool. I mean, that was just not something I expected to happen. Pretty much, I was really in shock and stuff. So it was really, really blessed and fortunate to be selected for that.
Yeah, and obviously your football experience had a lot to do with it, but you were also a track star, state champion in the discus, second in the shot put. Do you miss track stuff?
Yeah, obviously I do. It was nice to have a competitive outlet that wasn't as stressful as football is, and it was a lot more laid back, and it wasn't as strenuous and stuff. It's kind of a relaxed thing, but I do miss a lot. Throwing shot and disc was really fun, and I really enjoyed it in high school.
Well, obviously everybody knows about your dad, how he's a TU legend, played in the NFL. Tell me about how, first of all, what's that like growing up as a famous guy's son, and kind of that added pressure, or, what's that whole thing like?
It is a different experience, mainly just because there's a lot of times even now, people come up to me and they'll recognize me, but because of my dad, and they know they always see me as his kid and stuff. But it's really cool, and it's really I was really fortunate for it, just because the experiences he's been through, he's always been able to the stuff I'm going through now is obviously stuff he's been through, and so he's always able to give me really good advice when I'm going through different situations and stuff. So I'm really blessed and fortunate for that.
And I guess if he was coaching you too in high school, that, I guess that could be a double-edged sword, right? The coach's kid always gets a little extra pressure on him.
Yeah, he was a little extra. He always was a little extra hard on me when he was coaching me.
I could see that. Okay. So what's with around now in this time frame, the last little while, what's some of the best advice he's given you?
Oh, let me think. There's always I don't know. He going through fall camp, that's always not the easiest, but it's something you have to do. And he's always he'll always just tell me that's just go out there, work hard, and do your best and stuff, stuff like that. I can't really think of anything like super great that he's told me lately.
Okay.
He usually since I've gotten here, he's tried his hardest to stay backed off and let me do my thing unless I come up and ask him first. So, he does a real good job at that.
Okay, yeah, that's actually, I had asked Coach Montgomery about if he'd been around much, and he said he doesn't really, he kind of keeps his distance from you.
Yeah, no, because I know, especially when I was growing up and in high school, we'd always come to practices and be on the sidelines and games and stuff. And then since I've gotten here, he's basically quit doing all of that. Every now and then he'll come, like if we have a fall camp scrimmage or stuff, he'll come but sit up in the stands, but he's never down and around. He's never down in the mix and around stuff, which, I know he is probably not the easiest on him, but that he knows that's what's best for me. And he doesn't want to be one of those dads that's always like in the middle of everything and trying to be overly involved and stuff. So, it is nice that he does that for me.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here's a question for you. Tell me, is there an older teammate or two that is kind of either this year or even last year kind of taking you under their wing a little and kind of helped guide you along through this process?
Dylan Couch, offensive lineman. He was offensive lineman last year and he's graduated. Okay. Couch, he was always really, just really, really nice to me. And since the day I showed up, and was always super supportive and helped me out through whatever we were doing stuff. He was always there to guide me and help me. And, even now that he's gone, he still reaches out to me and, supports me and stuff. So that's, first dude that I can think of is definitely Dylan Couch.
Cool. Okay. So you did track in high school as well. But I saw in your little bio on the website and in the media guide says you also like to play hockey, and your favorite sports movie is Miracle. As a huge hockey fan myself, I had to ask you about this. When do you play hockey?
I played hockey a little bit in middle school, spent some years playing travel hockey and stuff, and then obviously
awesome.
I had to stop when I got into high school, but that was hockey's such a fun sport to play and stuff, and that's sport I still follow and enjoy and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite sport to play other than football.
Cool. Okay, I could see you being quite the physical defenseman or something. What did you play?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was defenseman who was mainly out there to try to hit people.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I'm sure a lot of football fans maybe don't realize how much they would also like hockey, right? It's kind of similar aspects to it.
Exactly. It's fast paced, high physicality and stuff. It's fun.
Awesome. Who are you a fan of in terms of team or players or whatever?
Well, my dad's from Philadelphia, so I'm a big Flyers fan. When I was playing, I had a Flyers themed room and stuff, but they, the Flyers aren't very good, so it's hard hard to support them right now. They aren't helping themselves right now.
All right, cool. Okay, so tell me what your thoughts are. There was a new thing that just came down from the OSSAA the other day about name, image, and likeness in high school. I don't know if you saw what that was, but it's basically like they are now allowing high school athletes to go ahead and get paid for stuff like that, but they can't use school names or mascots or anything. So I'm just curious of your opinion on that and where you stand on the NIL issue.
Well, I mean, obviously, if college shoots can do it, I don't know. I haven't looked in much into it, but I think if college people can do it, I don't see why high schoolers can't. Then the one issue that kind of pops up is in college, there's an issue with players transferring to other schools in pursuit for more NIL money and stuff like that. So I wonder if that's going to be an issue in high school, if you're going to see players moving around and stuff for NIL deals. But I don't know. I don't have that big an opinion on it, but if college students can do it, then why not let high schoolers do it?
Have you have any issues coming up with you in NIL stuff?
No issues.
Or any deals or anything?
Yeah, I do have I have one deal with Jay's Hoagies.
Okay.
It's a hoagie shop the restaurant's down on 91st and Sheridan in South Tulsa. They opened up in 2012, and me and my dad and my family have been eating there since they opened. Basically, it's Jay and his sons. We're real good friends with them. Known them forever. That's my dad coming from Philly. They're real big on their sandwiches up there, and Jay's the only sandwich place that my dad will eat at down here and stuff. So it's obviously pretty legit.
All right, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. You said 91st and Sheridan?
They have the restaurants in 91st and Sheridan, and then they have a food truck at 46th and Memorial, I believe. I can't have my streets all messed up. Right by the Sam's. So yeah, I go there, go to the restaurant or the food truck all the time. It's good stuff.
Cool, excellent. All right. Okay, so the last thing I want to ask you, just real simple. So the last one of the recent media press conferences that you guys had, Steven Anderson was on, and he was asked about how he was listed at 269 pounds. And he said he was actually only about 255. So I wanted to ask you, you're listed at 262. What is that accurate, or where are you at in your weight right now?
That is pretty accurate. At the start of fall camp, I was 262. Obviously, as you go through the season, yeah, your weight fluctuates a little bit. I weighed in yesterday at 259. So, the 260, that's usually whenever people ask, I say 260. But yeah, that's pretty, the 262 is fairly accurate. There's some days where I'll be up there. There's some I'll be 259-ish, but yeah, it's all pretty accurate.
Is it kind of thing like during the season where you lose muscle and stuff? I mean, I could see you losing weight in a sense where you're exerting all the time. Is that kind of part of it?
You're not really losing muscle. EA and the strength staff do a real good job and make sure we're not losing muscle and stuff. I think a big part of it's just hydration and how well you're hydrated. I mean, when you play in a game, you're sweating so much. Some dudes will sweat over 10 pounds a game. So a big part of it's just hydration and all that, how hot it is outside, and then that'll make your weight fluctuate a little bit.
Okay, so the next up is about a week away is Temple. Just tell me about your mindset going into that and the team's mindset heading into that game.
Obviously we're all just going in there focused to be 1-0 again, 1-0 this next week. So, we're going to prepare like it's any game that, like every other game we've played this year, and so, I mean, we've started the game planning and learning them a little bit this week. And so we kind of have a head start on that. And then we get to practice, we practice on Sunday, and then that's when we'll really kick off the game week and stuff and preparing for them. So it's just try to get the best week of practice possible, so we go into fly up to Philly and be as prepared as we can to go be 1-0.
Does it throw off your weekly schedule at all with it being on a Friday night?
It does a little bit. But with the bye week also changes it to where we can practice on where we lift today, we're off tomorrow on Saturday, and then we'll do a full practice on Sunday, have our day off Monday, then practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and then fly up on Thursday. So it throws off a little bit with that off day on the Monday, with the off day between the two practices. But other than that, it's not that different.
Right. I guess the bye week balances it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, cool. That'll do it. Thank you so much for joining me, and good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Temple. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
All right.